Okay, so we're here with Joanne, owner of Mudworks Pottery, and she's going to show us how to throw a baker. Is that correct,
I'm going
Joanne?
to throw a squared off baker. This is a potter's wheel. What I'm going to do is put a bat on the wheel. And we put that bat right over those bat pins. Put a little water. Slam that clay down in the middle. The first step is to get the clay centered in the middle of the wheel.
Okay.
Okay, so now that's in the center of the wheel.
You're using water?
Water's like lubrication. Keeps everything moving smoothly. Use the heel of my hand to make this lump of clay into a sort of a pancake shape. Nice and even. This is a 12-inch bat, and I want a 10-inch square, or roughly a 10-inch square. To throw a 10-inch square out of the kiln, after it's shrunk its 12%, you need to basically throw out to 11 inches. So
Now, what are you using? Is it a sponge?
Yes, it is. Bringing this over to create the base of the square baker, the bottom of it, so to speak. You have to make sure you don't trap any air between those two pieces. I'm compressing the bottom to avoid cracks. My bat's right here to bring up the sidewalls. I suck up all the water in here now. And I'm going to take a little bit off the top because I don't know if your eye sees it, but I see a wiggle. So that means there's parts of my top that are taller than the rest. Right there. So what I do is I take a needle tool and I'm going to just remove a little bit of the top. And this is like when you're leveling a cake, it levels out the whole top of my piece. Yes. This cleans up the bottom edge right here and also goes underneath just a little bit.
Okay.
If you're right-handed and you're throwing on the wheel, that's where your focus is, right at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
I want to dry off the inside. Make sure I'm compressed nice and flat here. And it's almost done. I'm going to wire it off now because I'm done throwing it. I put my wire tool back here, keep my fingers down on the wire, turn the wheel on. This is a make it or break it point. If I didn't do my bottom correctly, I would have a hole there.
Huh. And then the whole thing has to start from scratch again?
Yes, from scratch. Okay, this is masonite. Put it down here.
Look at that. And the circle becomes a square. And the masonite because?
Doesn't stick.
Okay. And that is?
The square baker.
That's only part one of how many steps in the process, you'd say?
Okay, now it sets up. So then it has to firm up a little bit so that I can carve or add or do whatever I'm going to do. Sand the bottom, sign it, put it on the shelf to dry completely. Then it'll go into the bisque for about 14 hours. Bisque, it takes overnight for that to cool. It'll come out of the bisque, go back on the shelf, then it'll get sanded, wiped for all little residue, dumped in glaze, back into the kiln to go up to 23, 2400 degrees, and that takes a good 8 hours.